Hi everyone, today's pages from your workbook are linked to rounding. So I thought I would just do a quick video because we've done lots of rounding in class and I think we're all pretty good at remembering, the rule. If the number's 5 or above, we round up. If it's below, we round down. But the thing that we've found really tricky is when a question is asking us to round up to the nearest 10, or the nearest 100 or the nearest 1,000. So let's go through that now together. So let's take the number 43 for example. If the question wanted me to round it to the nearest 10, I could draw a number line if I needed to, and I'm obviously going to round it down to 40 or up to 50. Now I know that 43 is less than 45, so I'm going to round it down to 40, so that's a nice simple one. But what if that number was 143? So the question might ask me two things. It could ask me, one, to round it to the nearest 10, or it could ask me to round it to the nearest 100. So if it first of all asked me to round it to the nearest, please excuse the barking dog, if it asked me to round it to the nearest 10, I could again draw my number line. Now down here I would have 140, but up here I would have 150. So it's going to go down, isn't it? It's going to go down to 140. Now if it wanted me to round it down to the nearest 100, my number line would look slightly different, because I would have 100 down here, I would have 200 up there. Now 143, if I'm rounding it to the nearest 100, I'm going to round it down to 100, aren't I? Okay, so what if I had a number like 1,677? Now this kind of question could ask me to round it to the nearest 10, the nearest 100, or the nearest 1,000. So first of all, if it wanted me to round it to the nearest 10, I could draw my number line, and down here I would have 1,670, and up here I'd have 1,680. Now this is above my 5, so I'm going to round it up to 1,680. But what if it wanted me to round it to the nearest 100 this time? So my number line, I'm going to have 1,600, and then I'm going to have 1,700. And looking at my two numbers here, are they above 50? Yes, they are. So I'm going to round it up. It would be roughly here on my number line, wouldn't it? Which helps me visually. So 1,677 rounded to the nearest 100 would go up to 1,700. Then what if it wanted me to round it to the nearest 1,000? So my number line this time would have 1,000 down here and 2,000 up here. And of course it's in the same place on my number line roughly, so it's going to be rounded up to 2,000.